Hola, from the west side. It is me, DCThePurpleDiva. Welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Well, for those of us in certain states, I guess things are about to change a little bit. Maybe, maybe not. I'm really not sure. Since we're getting such confusing messages from 45. But nonetheless, if you live in the states of New York, California, and Washington, you should be getting some National Guard assistance, so to speak. And they've now said that these ships that are off the coast of California and off the coast of New York are for non-coronavirus patients. Okay. We'll see how that works. We will see how that works. But I hope everybody's in a good mood on this Monday night. Hey, Matt. I know it's starting to get slow. And I missed Jovi's live earlier because I was busy. Darn it. I bet it was good. I'm going to have to go back and listen to the replay. But at midnight, my time, which is, I don't know, whatever, what is it, 3 o'clock in the morning? Y'all's time. I do have a brief spoken word that will be uploaded. I've scheduled it for midnight for Tuesday, so that you guys it'll be there when folks get up in the morning. It's just a little short spoken word, and it's really to the sisters, to the chocolate sisters, like myself. So, but I hope you guys like it. It's got a nice little picture collage going through it, and some of them are pictures of me. Yeah. Yeah, it's called For Cocoa Butterflies Like Me. I've actually, I think, done it a couple of times during the live stream, but now I posted it up there for you guys. So it's up there with some pictures of some beautiful chocolate sisters and chocolate little girls, you know. So I hope you guys like it. But yeah, TV kind of sucks. I mean, there's a couple of things, you know, on regular TV, but not really much, you know. And I mean, there is no daytime TV. I mean, daytime you're waiting around for 45. Now here's my question. Hey, Angel, how are you? It's 9:44. Yeah, I was a few minutes late getting on tonight because I was uploading my vlog that's going to you guys will be able to see at midnight because I scheduled it to be available at midnight. So that will be at midnight your time and my time, Angel, but it'll be 3 o'clock in the morning for anybody on the East Coast. And guys, guess who I talked to today? My dad. I spoke to the man. He is back in the United States. And guess what? He had to go through Europe because South African Airlines was not flying nobody out. So they had to fly on Ethiopian Air, and Ethiopian Air flies to the United States through Amsterdam. So they had to go to Amsterdam. Then they finally got to Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm going to FaceTime him tomorrow so I can see his face. But he will not be working for at least the next 2 weeks because he flew in through Europe. And everyone who flies in through Europe has to be, do self-quarantine for 14 days. They did take their temperature and everything. My dad doesn't have anything. But they did fly through Ethiopia. And I told you guys about all those Ethiopians that got sick and came back to Ethiopia sick. But he says they did not even go into the airport. They just immediately changed planes, which is good because, it was only a few days ago. And y'all know that this virus hangs around on surfaces for a while. But I spoke to my dad, and his job, which is a medical practice, they're closed until further notice for right now. And then I asked him about his other job at, VA. He said they're only doing emergency services right now, so he won't be going his behind to Washington, D.C. either. Yes. So he's just going to go home, and he's just going to rest. But he's going to send me pictures. He said it was really, really interesting being on the continent while this pandemic was going on because it did not affect the continent like it did here. So he's gonna, show me, things that they saw and just, tell me how it was. So I'll let you guys know how that was. But I am so excited that my dad is safe back in the United States because the president ordered everyone to come home. Yes, and all countries want anybody who's a U.S. citizen out of their country. They, all visas have been revoked in other countries for us. Yeah, pretty much. But here's the other thing. Now I'm a little confused because 45 is indicating that he's about to open everything back up in a couple of weeks. Like that, basically, planes are going to start flying everywhere and they're going to open back up, so people can go all over the country. They're going to, I guess, loosen up the restrictions on businesses and stuff. What is he doing? It's all about money, I guess. It's all about money. That's what it's about. Capitalists. Because I do not see, that we are going to be there in a few weeks. But I mean, if he's going to do that in a few weeks, then there's no reason for him to be giving these big businesses any money, correct? Yeah, no reason to give them money if that's what you're going to do. I think just within the country, we're not welcoming any other countries right now. I don't know if they're going to open back up the borders between Canada and Mexico. I'm not sure. But I did hear yesterday that by the end of April, by the end of next month, the port of San Pedro here in California will start, I guess, getting their cargo containers over to China because China is going to have stuff to be shipping. So something's going to happen within the next month. Maybe that's the reason why 45 is going to open up all the businesses, because he doesn't want China to be getting all the money. Telling you, got to think about how this man is talking. I'm sure he's just talking about travel locally, but it's really hard to. He says that there's going to be some certain parameters and everything, you know, but that doesn't mean that that's going to happen in your state or my state. If you live in one of the, you know, the highly contagious states, you know, because they've given, you know, I mean, the governors have pretty much autonomy. That's why the National Guard's coming in. I'm just saying, you guys, just, you know, think about how that stuff is looking. But on another note, I think it's a really good time for all of us to start looking at getting other streams of income to come in, because there are people who are losing their jobs left and right. Thankfully, I'm not among them, you know, and I pray to God that I don't become one of them, you know. But because I work from home, you know, I'm good. But there are people who are losing, I mean, 6-figure jobs and stuff. But I was in a live earlier with one of my other YouTube friends, King Wage, and they were talking about investing in gold and being able to open up accounts, you know, with no money, just, and I'm thinking I'm gonna look into that. I got the link to do it. He's going to have another live tomorrow. And so I'm giving shouts out to him, because I think it's something that's, you know, other people should go take a look at. Just to hear what he's got to say. Now I'm going to look and see. Which channel did he have it on? He had it on, because I want to tell you guys the right channel. So I'm looking it up right now, because I just happened to jump into the chat. And because I hadn't been at one of his things, you know, in a minute. But it's King of Wages. Let me see. Is it still up there? Because I want to drop the link to his channel in the chat. So that's what I'm looking for. So let me look for it. King Wage. There we go. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to drop the link to his channel in the chat, because I think you guys might be interested in just hearing what he's saying. So if you haven't checked out his channel, check him out. So that's the channel. You can check it out after the thing. I'll drop the link again later in the chat. But yeah, it's just something that you should look into, because we all need to be thinking about having multiple streams of income, especially because just think about it. Now I'm going to speak back to The Big Short in 2008, 2009. You know, where a lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people lost their homes, you know, and I'm not speaking that on this situation, but people are losing their jobs right now. Even though there are places that are hiring, some businesses are shutting down. And maybe that's the reason that 45 is putting this thing into place, to let businesses open back up so some people can get back to work. But, you know, the casinos are all closed. most businesses that large amounts of people can go into are shut down. Offices, a lot of them are still open, depending on where you are. But then a lot of them, thankfully, people have the ability to work from home. And thankfully, on that ability of being from home, here in California, they have made sure that all of these kids across the state in all of these school districts that are closed will have internet at home if they don't already have it. And that they will all have a laptop or an iPad or whatever the heck they need so that they can go to school. Because now the schools are going to be out at least until May 1st. At least until May 1st. And you know what that means? That means that my son probably won't be working at least until May 1st. So, yeah, I'm going to be working on some things. And I think I'm going to upload another vlog in the next couple of days for other caregivers, about how to, things that they can do during this time with whoever they're caregiving for so that they don't all go stir crazy. Yeah. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a fun time. But so far, he's only tried to get froggy once. Hopefully it'll stay like that for a minute. But it's a good time for us to think about, things that we can do from home, to make other streams of income, including YouTube if we're not monetized. Working on getting our YouTube monetized so that can be a stream of income. And then, I encourage you guys to go check out King Wage. He's going to be doing, I think, another live stream in regards to this tomorrow. And it's, investing in gold. So I would encourage you guys just to hear what they have to say. Good. I'm glad you got my notification this time, Zero. See, I get your notifications. It's just I'm not always able to get there. But I'm at least able to know you did something, so I can go back and look at the replay. But I get your notifications. That, it's just, now that we're all quarantined and everything, I'm able to go to more people's stuff. And then too, a lot of people are, doing more live streams and posting more videos. It's a good time. Do not be under the impression that because we're in the middle of a pandemic, that you cannot get your channel to where it needs to get to. There are people in review and getting monetized right now. So if you're trying to get your channel to be monetized, continue on the grind. Continue to get your watch hours. Now is a good time to get really creative with uploads. It really, really is. Short ones, long ones. If you've got things to tell people in regards to, things to lighten the load or to get people's mind off of what's going on, do that. Like I said, I'm going to upload something in regards to, being a caregiver of someone who is a teen or a young adult doing this quarantine thing, who has a disability or a diversity. Because we're not necessarily just talking about someone who's on the autism spectrum and my son. You know, there's other kids. I can imagine I'm just imagining right now how some of these parents are dealing if they don't have help. You know, and especially if they don't have someone who's high functioning. You know, can be overwhelming. So I'm gonna try to put something out there just to kind of give some ideas of things that people can do, you know, and hopefully it'll get the attention of, you know, some people who are caregiving. Yeah, some people are not showing in my recommended. What I do is I literally go through my subscriptions. I go through my subscriptions, you know, that page and see, and that's how I can see what people are posting and what's being uploaded. And sometimes I do it on my mobile, but the way I find is if I'm on my laptop, on a desktop, then I can pull stuff up. But a lot of times you can't see everything on the mobile, and a lot of us are on mobile. But I go back and check to make sure I'm still subscribed to people too. Make sure YouTube hasn't unsubscribed me to somebody. Because that's one of the things you have to make. What I found is that in order for your subscriptions to stick, even after you watch the original video, you do have to come back through on people's channels and look at them on a, you know, at least once a month if they're uploading and stuff, because YouTube will unsubscribe you after a certain period of time if you don't visit a channel, and vice versa. If someone doesn't visit your channel after a certain period of time, YouTube will unsubscribe them to your channel. That's one of the reasons why people are always grinding to get more subscribers, because of the fallout when YouTube comes through and purges. You know, and some of us, you know, get purged 1 or 2, you know, 4 or 5 here and there, and then they come back in a couple of days. But some people get purged, like get huge purges of, you know, just inactive subscribers who haven't even said boo on their channel in over 6 months. So then get kicked off. Yeah, I get the emails. I get tons of emails. And I get more email notifications than I do YouTube, or actually on my YouTube. A lot of them are in my email that aren't popping up on YouTube. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with YouTube on that. They're cutting people off in the middle of live streams. Wow. See, maybe because I'm not doing the long live streams, they might be limiting how long people can be on live stream. And see, I don't do live streams more than an hour. Yeah. I limit myself to an hour each time I get on. You know, but YouTube might be doing some stuff, especially because, you know, with everything going on, and they're really watching what people are uploading. They're not letting any crazy conspiracy theories videos get up. They're flagging them and pulling them down like quick. Wow, Matt. I've been in a couple where I saw that the videos, that it was kind of tripping on the live stream today, but only a couple. You know, and in the middle of all of this, you know, the pandemic and everything, you know, there's still people in various sectors on Black YouTube that find ways to be messy, 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 messy Marvin. And it's like, and I was listening to one of those. I was up in the clouds. I just wanted to hear how much lies this person was going to tell. And yeah, their video kept trying to stop. But I think somebody was trying to flag them because they were doxing people. They were literally doxing another YouTuber. And they lied and were talking about the other YouTuber didn't have hardly any subscribers. And the other YouTuber is a bigger YouTuber. Matter of fact, they were doxing two bigger YouTubers. It just looked like to me, it was, you know, some clout chasing. Trying to get attention. Hey, Jack. Keep them away from, what did you say? Keep them away from the California OG cushion, that purple strain. You so crazy, Jack. I know you've been working, Jack, but you safe? You safe? Yeah. That California OG Kush, you're funny. Well, I told y'all that they mentioned that, I think it was on the news a couple of days ago. Yeah, that, you know, legal marijuana sales have gone through the roof since people have been stuck in the house. You know, and a lot of, you know, and most of it, I'll just say like most of it in like Los Angeles area, most of it is a lot of delivery because, you know, they did some crazy stuff. So now basically none of the collectors are on weed maps anymore. So they like went after them. And so now all of these places are delivering all over the place. And I guess they're making them some good money. I know I was looking on Craigslist last week, looking at part-time jobs, and there was a bunch of driver jobs. There were a bunch of jobs for driving in certain cities around Southern California, driving cannabis drivers for delivery. So I'm going to say they were correct. People are having to deliver to their house while they're sitting there, either working from home, I guess, or not working from home. The AKA James coming, AKA, how are you? Did I miss AKA James? Did he come in? I'm telling you, people are flying through and I'm not seeing. Hey, Emmanuel. So I'm not surprised, you know, that California is having a higher sale. I'm sure they're not the only state that it's legal in that the sales are going through the roof. I'm sure it's probably the same in Washington. Sure, it's probably the same in Washington. And isn't it legal in Nevada too? And they just shut down the casino, so. But some of the casino owners are going to be paying their people for as long as they can. They're not even worried about it. But then you've got other ones that are only going to do it for 2 weeks. That's not cool. Not cool. Because y'all know they got plenty of money. Y'all know they can afford to pay them. They're just being cheap.
The Bunny Ranch still open.
I think the Bunny Ranch is probably closed. I'm sure the Bunny Ranch is closed too. Yeah, isn't that in Nevada? I'm sure that's closed too.
Damn it.
I'm sure it's closed too.
You were aware.
I know y'all heard about. He's over here acting. He's up here acting up, y'all. Acting up. Oh well, yeah, because they had some good drugs there. Because what Lamar Odom almost died at the Bunny Ranch. So they definitely had some good drugs up in there. Yeah, they definitely had some good drugs up at the Bunny Ranch. No, I think we'll pass on the Bunny Ranch drugs. I think we'll pass on theirs. Because whatever they had, we don't want none of that.
They carry his ass up out of there.
Exactly. I was like, nah.
That nigga had the time of his life.
No. Exactly. Yeah, that was. I'm sure he was doing more than trees. I'm sure he was doing more than smoking some trees.
Yeah, he's on some powerful shit.
I'm sure there was some Molly, some acid, some whatever, some other stuff that shouldn't have been in his body. Hey, thank you, Bayou. Thank you for coming through, showing love. Thanks, sis. But yeah, I'm sure every state that has legalized marijuana is probably having a payday right now in sales of that. Because that's probably some of people's priorities. They figure they get high, they don't think about what's going on. They're in the house. But I thought it was funny that they even mentioned it on the daggone news. But this is Southern California, so why was I surprised? I don't know why I was surprised at all. But it's like we're all hibernating, basically. And you only go out for food and essentials. Other than that, you're at home. Now, they haven't made it mandatory yet. I don't know how they can do that in SoCal, because there are certain businesses that, are open, and somebody got to come out the house to go there. Everything doesn't deliver.
The National Guard comes first, then they take over everything. Season.
Oh, wait a minute. Zero said people are going to be like, hey, smoke weed every day. They're going to be something like that. I guess so. It is. I'm telling you that, Emmanuel. It is. And they mentioned it on the Straight Late News. Here,
National Guard's gonna take over. Once they take over, they'll tell you the hours of operation and the curfews.
Yeah,
they'll let you know what's what, and they'll enforce it.
Well, let's hope it doesn't get to that point.
It's already in the works. Until they get this shit under control, that's what's gonna go down.
Yeah, have been activated to deal with the public. But to me, as long as you're not like out all day, first of all, I can see people conducting whatever business you have to do during the daytime, period, point blank, at this point. If you're in one of those states where the National Guard is, and I figure if you do what you got to do during the daytime and you're not hanging out, at night and stuff, ain't nobody going to be bothering with you. But, there's going to be a few knuckleheads that aren't just not going to do right by that. So they're going to be the ones who are going to be dealing with the the National Guard at night, because I'm sure there's probably going to be some kind of crazy dusk till dawn stupidity that'll go into effect. And that means if you don't have a job that has you out at night, then your butt shouldn't be out at night. That's what I wouldn't be surprised if it goes into that. I hope it doesn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't happen, unfortunately. As everybody else seems to have them. Told you I'm going to go to the store this week, to the fabric store this week. I'm going to get me some fabric and some other stuff that I need, and I'm going to be making some. You know, that can be, you know, obviously be reused, and then, you know, just do what we need to do. Oh, I heard what happened. Yeah, what I heard is that she had got on Instagram or something, and a DJ did a remix using her part on there, you know, with her permission, obviously. And I guess whatever money comes from it, they're gonna, you know, it's gonna go out to people in the areas hit by coronavirus. So I did hear about that song. I actually heard it. It's floating around on YouTube. But I think you can like download it. I think on iTunes. Yeah, I think it's on iTunes or something. I believe that's where you can find it. But, you know, guys, I was looking for this book and I still haven't found it. But I, somewhere around my house, have a cookbook with depression recipes. And I have to find it. It probably is in my garage. My mom had it. And it was in her things, and I kept it. It is depression time recipes. I'm like, I need to go find that little recipe book and see what kind of recipes are in there, so I can tell y'all about it. I got to find it. I'm going to find it. But I did pull out some other stuff that I thought would be things that, you know, if you have copies of these particular books, you should, you know, kind of check out some things. Now, you know, I'm not the Ivania Van Zant's fan of, you know, things she does now, but I really do like, you know, that book that she did, The One Day My Soul Just Opened Up, because it's got some really good words in it. So that's one of the things that I pulled out that I'm going to be kind of looking at for some things. And then I also have this other book that I'm taking a look at. And it's a book actually that I utilized in the past. And it is a book by T.D. Jakes. And it's about repositioning yourself, living life without limits. And, you know, this one is just about really just kind of evaluating where you are. And I think that this is probably a really good time for a lot of us, you know, regardless of where we are career-wise during this pandemic, just to kind of evaluate where we want to be so that, you know, we don't have to worry about, because, you know, many of us, even if we are employed, could potentially be one paycheck or two paychecks away from, catastrophe if our jobs are gone. Many people don't have, the 6 months emergency funds that we should have in situations like this. So I think that it's a good time for many of us to kind of look at ways that we can start to make that start to happen and reposition ourselves. Like I said, things that we can do from home. I think I gave you guys like some of those companies that hire from home. Appen, Lion Bridge, Mod Squad, and then there's another one called User Testing, where all you do is you answer questions, and if you fit the profiles, then they have you go and actually test out websites and give your feedback. And they pay anywhere from $10 to $60, because some of them end up being where you're going to do longer things than the normal 10 minutes to 15 minutes that most of them take. So those are some things. So those are some places where you can kind of look. And then again, I'm going to put King Wage's web channel in the in here again, so you guys can check him out, because he's doing some live streams, and they're talking about gold investing and cryptocurrency and just things that you may not have thought about. But I think we should probably, at least look at, especially when I believe the one that he's talking about, you don't even need to actually put any type of initial investment in to open up an account. Yeah, she got sampled. Yeah, I thank you for that, Angel. I mean, I think it's really important for those of us who are doing our live streams to keep doing our live streams and everything, and continue, interacting with the people, with our fellow YouTubers, who are part of our YouTube family. Because what else are you going to do if you're just sitting at home? Really? I mean, I'm just saying. And it's a nice time to kind of just forget about the stuff that's going on, outside. All right. Thank you, Jack, for coming through. I'm glad to see that you're doing okay. But I think that this is just kind of like a kind of, woosah, we just kind of chill here. We just kind of kick it here. Yeah, I'll talk about what's going on with this coronavirus stuff, because it is what it is. It's kind of in our faces, But I like to talk about other things. Like, I'm not going to do it tonight, but I remember I told you guys about that book by Dr. Ron Elmore called How to Love a Black Man. He wrote a book called How to Love a Black Man and How to Love a Black Woman. He wrote both of them. But I found my one. It was about how to love the Black man. And I'm going to kind of go over some of the tidbits in it in the upcoming live stream. So I had to let you guys know that I found that. It's called How to Love a Black Man by Dr. Ron Elmore. He wrote this book, I think back in the 90s, I want to say, because he was on like Oprah Winfrey with it. And it was one of her big picks. he talks about the different types of black man in this book, you know, and you know the different types of women and the type of black man that they attract. So, you know, I'll be talking about some of that coming up because I think it might be interesting to look back at how this stuff was talked about back in the day and how things are looked at today. I'm just looking in the book right now, trying to see when was this book written. Let me see. This book came out in 1996. So that's like almost 25 years ago. So yeah, that would be interesting to see how the views that were in this book hold up in today's world. Yep, that's gonna be interesting. You said the V word. Oh. Oh. Okay. I'll be careful. I'll be careful. Well, yeah. And in talking about this particular book, everything that I'm going to be saying is all PG. It's all PG. It's going to all be PG because Dr. Ron Elmore is also a pastor, and so he wrote it. You know, I mean, it was from a real perspective, but you know, ain't none of that in there. It will be streams that can be heard by all ages, but they are not geared towards children because it is, you know, really talking about adult relationships. But I just like to compare these views as to and see if there are really people who fit those descriptions in today's world. I think it would be interesting. Oh, I hear what you're saying. Oh, I'll be careful in regards to that. But yeah, we don't have a whole lot to do right now. There's only so much TV we can watch. I got you. Thank you for retracting that, Matt. So now they're not letting people say the word in there. That's so silly. If you're talking about things that help people, okay, so then I guess what you'll have to do is that if you're having a conversation about that, like if you put up a video, you'll have to talk about the video, about things that people are going to do while staying home. During this time of staying home. And just not mention why everybody's staying home. Okay, I got you. Gotcha. I'll do it like that. Because I guess all around the world, we know exactly why we're staying home. So it really doesn't need to be said because you would literally have to be living up under a rock to not know. No matter where you are in this world. So I can go with that. I can go with that. I guess so. because they don't want people to be putting out, I guess, you know, any kind of conspiracy theories or anything. So they're monitoring hard what people are saying. And I can understand that. So, you know, it's cool. Because there's plenty more we can talk about besides that. Seriously. It doesn't have to be the only thing that we're talking about. I'd much rather talk about other stuff. That's why I'm letting you know I got other stuff that I'm going to be talking about. Exactly why I'm letting you know.
Hi guys.
Let me see. But yeah, they're coming down hard on people. I mean, people have to be really careful what they're doing on their channels. I don't want my channel shut down. You know, so, and I definitely don't want my ability to do live streams to be taken away from me. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue to just follow the rules. Whatever the rules are, I'm going to follow them. Because all I want to see is nice little green when I go into my YouTube studio. Seriously, that's all I want to see. I just want to see green. Only green, only green. Nothing but green. I don't see no yellow. And I definitely don't want to see no red. Definitely don't want to see any red. So I will play by whatever rules they want us to play by. You know, it is what it is. You know, I mean, there's other people I know that have streams that have been, you know, tagged as ones where people, you know, do things to help their channels get bigger. And so they have to be very careful about things that are in their streams. So I guess it's only fair that the rest of us that are doing live streams have to be careful about what we're saying in regards to this, because, you know, like I said, they don't want any conspiracy theories. So I'm going to let it be that way. And that's fine. You know, I'll just find another way to say what I have to say if it's about that. I'll just be like, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, that thing, that reason why we're staying home. I'll just make it like that. I'll just say it's the reason it's the reason everybody's home. It's the reason that, you know, those of us who normally at church on Sundays were at home yesterday. And we're on our Facebook pages because a lot of churches were streaming on Facebook. And then there are people who, you know, observed the Sabbath who were streaming on Saturday. So it's going to be interesting because tomorrow night I'm going to go to Bible study on Facebook. So, you know, but of course I have a choice of either going tomorrow night or going on Thursday morning. But I want to go tomorrow night because I want to see what happens tomorrow night. And then, you know, I might be too busy working. Oh, no, I can go on Thursday morning. Duh, I forgot. I'm off Thursday and Friday this week because I took the days off to go to a conference that I can't go to anymore because of, y'all know why. It was canceled, but I still have the days off. So, gee, what am I going to do on Thursday and Friday? Let me think. Oh, geez. I guess I'm going to be at home. I have to find something to do to fill up that time. See, you see how this goes? This thing made me forget I'm off 2 days this week. And that I only have to work tomorrow and Wednesday. And then I'm off. And I thought I was going somewhere. That's why I had the days off. I'm not going anywhere. But the actual thing that I was going to, the conference, it's going to probably end up being, I don't know, like in a couple of months. So then I'll just take off the time then and go there. You know, it's fine. It's fine. I'll finish paying my balance off as soon as I know what the date is that it's going to be. And I'll make it work. I will make it work. But I'm glad my dad is back stateside. And, I'm telling you guys, I'm going to just be trying to make preparations. Go see my dad this summer after this is over, hopefully. And hopefully, we're able to travel within the United States. Right now, obviously, I wouldn't go around him because, he's, in the most vulnerable age range. Number one, and number two, he's been out of the country, so he's probably not even contracted it because there was very, very few cases in South Africa. And he wasn't anywhere else long enough. Because he was in Ethiopia 2 seconds, and he was in Amsterdam 2 seconds. So, yeah. I'm just going to wait until I can go see my dad. And I'm just thankful that he is back in the United States, y'all. And that he will not be going to work anytime soon. And his employers will be paying him to stay home. I like that. That's even more incentive for him to stay his behind home. Because my dad is a really good dermatologist, really good. But I'm glad that he's not going to be one of the help people out there helping people and putting himself at risk. I'm just glad. And I didn't even have to argue with him about it. You guys. He just was happy to be home. Happy to be back in the United States. Because, when 45 issued that level 4, what that meant is everybody who was a U.S. citizen that was abroad, unless you were working abroad, get your butt back home. And countries were pretty much saying, yep, you're out of here. Everywhere. When he did that, every country, including African countries, were ready for anybody who was a U.S. citizen to get out. So I'm glad that my dad was able to get back because, he couldn't even get a flight straight from the continent because of this. And although he had to go through, Ethiopia and through Amsterdam to get here, I'm glad that, he was able to get here, when he expected and there weren't any further delays. Nope, he will not be out there. That will be one less doctor. One less doctor. I mean, because he does work for VA, but that's his part-time job. And his unit will only be going in on an emergency basis. And there aren't very many dermatology emergencies. They really won't be. So therefore, he's not going to be driving from North Carolina to DC. Yeah. So I'm just happy about that. I'm happy that he's going to be staying his Patoozy at home. I'm gonna come on so you guys can see me. Let me see. Hi, everybody. I'm here. The lights are on this time. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate it, everyone. Oh, here comes David. David, come around here so that they can actually see you. Come sit next to Mom so they can see you. Yeah, see, there's David. Yeah, you're on the camera. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. We are hunkered down in here. We're going to make it. You know, I'm still working. Thankfully, I got a job that I was already working from home, you know, but it's not easy to work when my son is at home as well, but I'm doing it anyway. But I thank y'all for coming through. I'll be back on tomorrow. I will be popping in and out of other folks' lives as always tomorrow during the day, because I see a lot more people are coming on during the day, and you know, it's just a lot more conversation. It makes my day go by faster as I work. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Be back on tomorrow night. Until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. And don't forget, I got a vlog that is premiering at midnight West Coast time. So 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Take a look at it if you can. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye, everybody.